may pumutok sa may parting sa Transworld House. Pumutok. We responded. Yung pala, ang technique doon is pumutok kami to reveal our positions. Biglang pumutok sa harapan namin. 5 meters away. Andun palang main force ng MNLF. Grabe ang putungan. Super. Malakas talaga sila. So, kami, after clearing Kati, pinala kami sa junction Pinandok ng Libak. That is after Baruraw. Kung nasa crossing Pinandok ka, it's a fork. The right fork is going towards Pansud, Purikay. The left fork is going towards Kumalawit, Tagisa, Tran, Purugan. So from there, we retracted from the road, we move about mga 20 to 30 meters away from the road and establish our defensive position. That was the Kumalawit defense line. Kung makita ninyo sa book, yung picture sa book was the actual foxhole of the 2nd platoon ng Kumalawit defense line. Officer Don is then 2nd Lieutenant Alberto de la Cruz Jr. So from the Kumalawit defense line, sometimes on 1st May 1973, pinadvance kami towards Tagisa. So, towards Tagisa, napalaban kami. Palaban kami. Noon namatay yung sa Lake Bagay, Laiko, and several others wounded. Mabigat ang kalaban talaga. So, pinatras kami in the afternoon. Now, it was during that time na yung platoon sergeant namin, na late Sergeant Alfonso, ang type of leadership niya is very brotherly. Hindi yan sumisigaw. Puro malumanay ang salita. He always set the example, pero hindi yun siya ang gumagawa. Papagawa niya pa rin sa inyo. And he supervises. Then he has the habit of calling us to his foxhole sa umaga para mag-share kami ng kape. And every time nagkakape kami, nagpe-pep talk yan. Isang very memorable na pep talk niya, the late Sergeant Felipe Alfonso, yung sinasabi niya, dalawa lang ang huwag yung pakialaman ay yung kasamahan. Ang kanyang pera at ang kanyang babae. So, minsan, nagtitinginan kami kung babae. Eh, mga trainee pa kami yun. Oh, nangingitian kayo, sabi niya. When I say, pag sinabi kong babae, maraming ibig sabihin ang babae ng sundalo. It's either yung asawa niya talaga, maaari yung girlfriend niya, or minsan, maaari yung katebol niya sa beer house. Pero pag sinabing babae lang kasamahan mo, it's either of the na-mention ko na huwag yung pakialaman dahil mag-aaway kayo. Lalo pera din niya. Pakialaman mo yung gamit niya, hindi ka mag-aaway. Pero pag oras na pinakialaman mo yung dalawa, mag-aaway kayo. Masisira ang camaraderie ng grupo. Yan ang palagi niya binibilin sa amin. So after that, from there, late May, pinalitan kami ng 21st Infantry Battalion. Sila ang pumalit sa aming perimeter. So we moved. We were shuttled to Pansud. From Pansud, after a few days, makit kami sa bundok. Kalumongong. At a level place, part ng bundok, nag-establish kami ng Advanced Tactical Command Post. The Tactical Command Post was later on named Capricorn Hill. Yung Capricorn was actually the radical sign of our battalion commander, then Lieutenant Colonel Francisco Hucutan Jr. Doon sa tactical command post, makikita mo lahat. It's overlooking Strand, overlooking Tapudi, overlooking almost lahat ng T3 complex. When I say T3 complex, T+3 complex, it stands for the Tran, Tagisa, Turugan. Those areas ang under rebel control. Rebel control ng MNLF rebels under the vice chairman ng MNLF, Datu Ali Sansaluna. Going back sa position namin, we could overlook the area. On 6 June 1973, the Bravo Company and the Charlie Company were given two separate missions. The Bravo Company will attack, seize, and control Tapudi. Tapudi composed of schoolhouse and several clusters of caves plus high-rise stone formations. Kami, Charlie Company, I was a Charlie Commandant under Captain Obedosa, Arthur Obedosa. We were given the task to attack and seize control Tran. So, early 6 June 1973, the Bravo and Charlie Company moved simultaneously pababa dahil nasa mountain slope kami. We moved down. Bravo Company to its objective and Charlie Company to its objective. Now, bago ko ikwento yung sa amin sa Charlie Company, allow me to narrate nangyari sa Bravo Company. Pagpasok nila sa Tapuli, malayo pa lang dahil sa infantry kasi, nung araw sa infantry, while moving, nagpapaputok kayo. So, while moving, yan sasabi na fire record and maneuver. Malayo pa lang, alam na ng kalaban na papros na yung infantry battalion. So, about 500 meters away pa lang sa target, na-engage na sila. Dalawa ang wounded down, puro machine gunners, 120 Python, unang natsugat na tamaan ng midday. And nung hapon, 20 Python. Late in the afternoon, yung Bravo Company pinabalik sa CP. So yung dalawang wounded were brought, doon sa command post pala, there was a tent for medical. Andun ang tent. Dumating sana ang chopper to evac the wounded, kaya lang hindi makaland because low cloud ceiling. Yung sa train doon, late, trainee Kimson died from loss of blood. So, yan ang nangyari sa Bravo Company. Bumalik sila. Hindi nila kaya yung objective. By the way, we were informed that Datu Ali Sansaluna, the vice commander, has 200 fully armed combatants at his disposal, maliban doon sa local forces ng Libak. So that was how strong the rebel force was in Tapudi. So kami naman, Charlie Company, coming down the mountain slope, we followed the trail, crossed the Kang River. We went further south, Talahiban, ang tatasak Talahiban. We came upon the barbed wire fence. Mataas barbed wire fence, about 5 feet tall. Kaya lang yung barbed wire, nakapako ng maayos na hindi na talaga maisag. So there's no way na kapunta ka sa kabila, but you have to scale the fence. That fence later on became one of the most cruel obstacles during our retreat the following day. I will tell you why mamaya. While going in, wala kami makitang tao, but later on, may naglabasan ng mga armado na tumatakbo. Hindi kami humabol dahil alam namin ang technique nila na papahabulin ka, then ambusin ka. So, while going near the houses, kasi may tatlong bahay na magkakatabi. Yung ibang trainees sa amin, third platoon, pumasok sa bahay. Binuksan yung bahay, pumasok sa loob, tapos maya-maya, may isang trainee nagbukas ng bintana, hawak ang saging at saka mangga, sabi niya, "Oy, may saging at mangga rito," sabi niya. So, ibang trainee, kasama namin, nagsipasok sa loob to partake, makipag-agawan sa saging. Then, the enemy opened fire. Ibang trainees, pumasok sa loob. Dahil yan ang safest, bahay. Yung iba na naiwan were also forced to get inside dahil ini-snipe. So, tatlong bahay yun, magkakatabi. Starting from the south direction was the house of Kagi Usop Aberol. So, the first house, yung south side is owned by Kagi Usop Aberol. It was occupied by the 1st Platoon Charlie Company under 2nd Lieutenant Marcelino Rumbawa. Kami, the 3rd Platoon under 2nd Lieutenant Marcelino Gakutan, we occupied the house of Datu Uga Marasigan, yung nasa gitna. Nasa amin yung command group that composed of our commander, Captain Arthur Abedosa. Yung 2nd Platoon occupied the house of Sultan Paglas Matabalaw. The 2nd Platoon was under 2nd Lieutenant Alberto de la Cruz Jr. So we occupied the 3 houses. 6 June, the MLF showed their persistence na kahit na there were few in number. By the way, the main force of the MNLF during the time was engaging the 24th Infantry Battalion sa Kumalawit de los Reyes Farm. So it explains bakit kukunti yung putok na sumalubong sa amin sa Sitio Apustran. Pero the MNLF were able to stage a strategy distributing themselves around the sitio na pag nagpuputok sila, akala mo napalibutan kayo. Pero later on, did you know na kunti lang pala sila noon and deployed the tactic ng sniping. So, hindi ka talaga ni-snipe nila yung lumalabas eh. So, nung gabi, afternoon, hanggang gabi, it was exceptionally nakakagulat and tahimik na tahimik. It was so quiet. Walang putok. Wala lahat. Napakatahimik. So, yung bahay which you occupy, the bahay of Dati Uga Balasigan, facing the Prefab School building, mayroon siyang ground porch. Yung ground porch, mayroon sitting parapet. About a few feet. Siguro mga 1 feet or more ang height. So mayroon upuan. Nung gabi, doon pa kami nakaupo. Tatlo kaming gwardiya doon sa area. Trail Bantugan, Trail Pangaramuyan, tsaka ako. Although, may mabang post kami, pero doon kami nakapesto, kami. Mupo kami sa parapet pa, nagkikentuhan. Pero by 12 o'clock, siyempre tulog na lahat. Yung guard lang ang gising. Nung mga 5:30, may pumutok sa may parting sa Transworld House. Pumutok. We responded. Yung pala, ang technique doon is pumutok kami to reveal our positions. Biglang pumutok sa harapan namin. 5 meters away. Andun palang main force ng MNLF. Grabe ang putukan. Super. Malakas talaga sila. So we were pinned down. We were pinned down sa labas. Hindi kami makapasok sa loob din dahil kailangan tatayo kami. It was already daybreak. Sabi ng platoon sergeant namin, malalahin sa amin, sabi niya, pasok kayo sa loob! Pasok kayo! Sabi namin, hindi kami makapasok dahil hawak ni Pangalamuyan yung caliber 30 machine gun. So, nagtapon si Trainee Uson at saka Trainee Malinlin ng tali. Itinali sa machine gun at hinila sa loob. So, tripod. Tapos isa-isa kaming naglalas, papasok. The first of us was Trainee Pangramuyan. Makita mo yung watakbo siya, yung tama ng sniper sa paa. Pero awa ng Diyos, di tumatama. It means, ang bumabaril sa amin are snipers. Sumunod si Bantugan and me. Nung nasa loob kami ng bahay na, linos yung tapos we observe sa paligid. Kapal nila talaga, marami. Some of us went to the second floor to fire. Kaya lang nung nalaman ng kalaban na may mga nasa second floor, really slapping din nila yung second floor. So, we were forced to get down. Now, ang nangyari, ang first platoon was also harassed at the same time. Yung first platoon, which was under Second Lieutenant Marcelino Rumbawa, was harassed. About several meters away, mayroon tumisigaw sa kanila. Tulungan niya ako, sabi ng sigaw. Lumingan sila, nakita nila si Trainee Ortega na was trying to pull himself up sa pintuan dahil may tama. Binalikan din si Ortega. By that time din, grabe ng putukan. Binalikan nila si Ortega, kinakain nila yung dalawa, kinakain nila si Ortega, and withdraw. They were trying to withdraw. Just in time na may biglaang dumaan na fighter jet. Naghulog ng bomba sa doon sa may vicinity ng Trans School Building. Accordingly, 1,000-pound bomb daw yung inulog doon. So that made the withdrawal successful. Okay. Now, yung isang nag-reinforce sa amin, the one that reinforced us out from the entanglement of the encirclement was the Alpha Company under Second Lieutenant Artemio Carriaga. So, pumasok sila. So, they were sila ang nag-spearhead ng assault. Trainee Perpignan, Trainee Olmedo, Trainee Peru, Trainee Agtina, Trainee Opido. Ganun pa. So sila nag-spearhead ng ng assault. Dahil may mga anting-anting.
Tumapang lalo.
Believing of their immortality. Walang cover-cover. Diretso sila. Now, during the assault, tinamaan ang kanilang platoon leader, si Lieutenant Angeles, Marino Angeles. Nakita ni Opido, Trainee Opido, Angeles, ang tinamaan. Punta siya doon, inakay niya si Lieutenant Angeles, tapos nakita niya isang trainee, tinulungan nila si Lieutenant Angeles hanggang sa barbed wire fence. Bumalik pa si Opido to join yung kasama niya. Now, tinamaan ang rifle butt ang baril sa tinamaan ang rifle ni Trainee Perpignan sa bat. Really unserviceable. That compelled them to withdraw. During the withdrawal, mayroon naman sa natamaan naman na isang trainee, nakita naman ni Opido, inisiling niya yung tao, tapos, withdraw niya din.
Si Opido yung isa sa antingan.
Si Opido. Opido was the one I was telling you na hindi na-enlist, na-terminate. Na-terminate. Sa ganyan na nangyari, tinulungan na si Lieutenant Angeles, withdraw, bumalik, tapos may natamaan ulit, tinulungan niya ulit. Hindi pa na-enlist yun after naging draftee. Nagpa-enlist sa Marines yun. Sa Marines siya nagpa-enlist, nag-aral hanggang sa
naging
officer. Nag-retire siya as a colonel.
Buhay pa yan.
Colonel Opido, sir. Saludo kami sa iyo, sir.
So, yun yung kwento ng 22nd Infantry Battalion. From 1973 hanggang anong taon to? Buong 1973.